Hey y'all. So I was just thinking, I'm up late at night. Just excuse my hair. Whatever. And I was just thinking about my spiritual awakening. Um, and that just kind of, it's a whirlwind when you go through it. Afterwards, you kind of look back and you're like, wow. Um, if you know, you know. Um, Thankful for the lessons. Definitely. Thankful for the lessons. However, if you've been through it, you already know. You know. I don't know. I didn't know I was ascending for a long time. Um, and, I was working, and I worked like 9 hour days. I'm a parent, working parent. Thankfully, I had my parents to help me with my son, you know. But, my dad had ended up breaking his hip. So things were a little, rough at home because he needed extra care and he was in and out of the hospital and things like that. Anyway, so all of a sudden I was like, mood shift, right? And mind you, I didn't know I was going through a spiritual awakening. I didn't know. So I didn't know anything about energy, field, nothing. None of that. Still in the 3D. I'm exhausted. All of a sudden, my money's looking funny. And I would make money and not be able to keep it. It would just be like I would constantly just, I don't know, not have enough. Something else would happen, and then something else would happen, and then something else would happen. And I still didn't know. I'm still in the 3D. I'm like, well, that's life, whatever. Uh, I was just like too tired to function. Body not feeling right. Um, my dad started getting sick. Um, all of a sudden, uh, it was just like everything at once. All of a sudden, my my old landlord at my other house was like, okay, we're gonna sell the house, and then all of a sudden we had to figure out where we were gonna move. Almost homeless because I couldn't find a place to move. Uh, it was just a lot at one time, and then my dad got his cancer diagnosis. Um, so then moved, you know, moved, and I'm still working, and then all of a sudden I got this strange wound on my leg, ended up in the hospital. I'm in the hospital. My father had cancer, so he's in and out of the hospital, and then he got his leg amputated. Um, I'm in the hospital, he's in the hospital, then all of a sudden my family starts acting funny. My, because obviously he was an amputee then, and with cancer. I'm a working parent. My mother needed to stay with my son while I'm working. So I would ask my brothers to help, and my brothers just started acting, they were super helpful, and then all of a sudden weren't. So that changed, and then my dad started getting really nasty and mean. It was just like all of a sudden that everybody seemed to be at me. People were coming at me. I was scapegoated at work and just treated like shit at work all of a sudden, and I'm like, what's going on here? Fighting money, finances. I'm sure if you know, right? If you've been through this, you know. And then school. My son was having school issues. He was acting up at school, acting erratic, not acting as he would. Loved school, and then all of a sudden he was having issues at school. His teachers, he went to 3 schools within a couple months, stating he was a bad kid, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, he's not. He's really calm, cool, and collected. Like, my son, yeah, he has autism, but he's the kid that'll hug you all day. He's very affectionate, sweet, and wonderful, and loves school. Loves it. So, it was just like my world was absolute chaos. Uh, and I still didn't know what was going on. I just couldn't get ahead. And then all of a sudden I lost my job. Uh, and, got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I mean, it was just insanity. And my cat ended up dying. Uh, it was just now, I'm not saying all this for like, oh, woe is me, right? I don't do the victim mentality, okay? I'm saying, you know, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, like I didn't know, for like years that I was being attacked, uh, yeah, don't even tell. I didn't even mention the horrible relationships. I had domestic violence relationships. All of a sudden, the sweetest guys would, one, ghost me, um, or be really sweet and be in a great relationship, and all of a sudden turn on me, right? And be really nasty and mean. And just be done, not want nothing to do with me or whatever. Family members refused to help me with anything. Wouldn't help me with care for my father, my mom, and myself. Really had to just do that. And unfortunately, a lot of that fell on my mom. Because I had to work, you know. And I wrote some of this down because it's a lot. I've been under a lot for a lot of years. From a lot of people. It was just chaos. I did start writing this down, and then I was like, I'm just going to say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah. There was like no help with anything. Couldn't get anybody to take my dad to the doctors. Couldn't get anybody to come in and help my mom care for my dad, who was bedridden and had amputee cancer. Couldn't get a job. After I lost my job, I couldn't get a job. And I couldn't figure out because, like, I am qualified. Like, qualifications. And I'm not, like, look, I'm qualified. That's all I'm saying. And couldn't get a job. I've never been in a situation like that. Then when I did get it, there would be, like, biased, still not knowing I'm going through an awakening and being spiritually attacked. I'm under spiritual warfare, going through a spiritual awakening, not knowing anything that's going on, and my life is falling apart, right? So, that's the backstory, right? Okay. When I did wake up, wake up, when I had my awareness, right? And I actually was going through a spiritual awakening. I had been going through a heartbreak, right? Horrible heartbreak. Just completely heartbroken. Literally was like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. But I didn't, thankfully, because found out later that's kind of what they wanted. That's for another story. But, yeah. Then I realized I was actually going through a spiritual awakening. And then when I realized that I needed to get up and figure my shit out, excuse my language, and legit was like researching healing. I healed, right? And I'm still struggling too. Dude, I'm penny pinching. I'm doing whatever it takes to try to put food in the house. My son didn't have a Christmas. And I grew up poor. So I was okay with being poor. But my son didn't have a Christmas. For the first time since he's been born. That bothered me. But anyway. And so then I started, as I'm healing, That's not important because truthfully, Christmas can be whatever, right? And I'm gonna make that up to him. But sorry. Anyway, so I started looking up, spirituality, spiritual awakening. What the heck was going on, right? And then I started tapping into my intuition, right? The person who I knew for years, all of a sudden, just didn't seem right, and just switched. Once again, if you've been through a spiritual ascension, awakening, you know what I'm talking about, right? That's when you know. Just switched up on me, right? And but it's not about the people. It's not about the it's not about the things that happened. Yeah, those things happened, but I just said those because, like, I didn't know what was going on for that amount of time. Like, I didn't know I was being spiritually attacked. I didn't know, even throughout that time, that I was going through an awakening and being spiritually attacked. So I said all those just so if that's happening to you, you know why. I mean, hey, it might just be life, but it's something to look at. So I went deep into my healing. I was already kind of healing on my own before then, without knowing I was going through an awakening. Because I just kind of got to the point where I was like, what the hell is going on? And I just wanted to do better for myself, right? And every time I'd get and start something, something would stop it. And it's like every time I'd start something again, something would stop it. And I just seemed like I couldn't get anywhere. And I was just, the mental exhaustion. And then the worst thing is to not have your finances, have your money funny. And then everybody around you, nobody wants to help you with nothing. It was like the walls were caving in. So I was like, I'm gonna shut down. I'm gonna heal myself and do better. Because maybe it's something I did. I was like, God, please help. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm a good person. I don't understand. And so I just shut down and I healed. But my healing process within that, I'm gonna be honest with you now. I'm thankful for all those lessons. I'm working through some stuff. You know what I mean? I'm thankful for those lessons. But when I shut down to heal and try to heal, because I had mental attacks happening to me constantly. Attacks on my mentality, yeah, literally everything. Okay, because I was being attacked when I was asleep. I was being attacked when I was awake. My finances were attacked. My relationships were attacked. Every single thing was being attacked. So, hi, Jaden. But the mental attacks were kind of the worst because when you're trying to focus on your healing, what I actually had to do was, I'm going to tell you, as you see, I have a lot of distractions on the normal day-to-day. My son's autistic. I've got, I would just roll the punches. But I was like, all right, I'm going to focus on my healing. I'm going to figure out what's going on. I'm going to study up on spirituality, spiritual attacks, how to counter-react, how to change myself, raise my vibration, shut myself down. I went into hermit mode because literally my whole family was attacking me. Not spiritually, but like verbally, like it was awkward to be at home. Like, it was so awkward to literally live in the place that I pay for, because, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody so pissed off at me for just breathing? But yeah, so that was another one. And I just shut down and I was like, and I isolated and just took the time to be with me. Now, I'm a mom, obviously. You got life shit. You gotta work. You gotta take care of your kid. You gotta... But, man, taking that time just with myself, sitting with myself, and seeing myself, and fixing the stuff within myself, you know? Because nobody's perfect. I'm far from it. I mean, I wasn't a bad... I've never been a bad person. I've always wanted good for everybody. You know, but everybody has something, you know? You know, but, yeah. Yeah, and then, you know, you have your spiritual attacks, and then you have your stalking and fear tactics, and your illusions, and then your projections, and then your evil... You know the drill. If you know, you know. Spiritual awakening. So literally, I'm just getting hit everywhere. But yeah, mental clarity for a long... But before I knew what was going on, I really was confused. Like, it was just absolute chaos. But that's what they'll do, right? And the key to that is shutting it down. You don't stay amongst the chaos. You change your mindset. Easier said than done, right? I had a lot of mental attacks on me, on my brain. And I'm a nerd, okay? So I took that personal. I need this. But seriously, see, you know you're healed when you can actually laugh about it. But it's not really a laughing matter, to be truthful. It's really fucking not, because if you know, you know. Shit. While you're going through it, it's hard, man. And if you're going through it right now, I get it. I get it. Listen, at the end of the day, I held on way too damn long. And I held on, like, worrying about the other person, right? Worried about other things and not focusing on myself, choosing myself, sitting with myself, healing myself. One of the rawest things that you can ever do is sit with yourself and look at yourself and fix your own issues. But it's also, if you got all that shit going on, all that happening, and mind you, by that time my dad was stage 4. And we had round-the-clock care, and we were getting ready for, you know, it was terminal, you know. So, but I still isolated, and choose yourself, at least for a little bit of time. Sit with yourself, hermit down. I mean, again, yeah, I'm a mom. I had to do the things, but I literally, well, again, in my case, I had no choice because everybody was attacking me in my household for no reason. Again, listen, don't. Sometimes I laugh about serious stuff, and it's my coping mechanism, you know. But doing that within myself actually made me sit and actually strengthen my connection with spirit. It strengthened my connection with my ancestors. It strengthened, and before this, I hadn't had a real strong relationship with God. I went to church when I was younger, and I was in the church when I was younger, and I got out of that. You know, I kind of lost touch for a time there. But that, like, I got to the point where I was so hermited, I had nobody to talk to but my ancestors and God and the angels. You know what I'm saying? I had nobody else to talk to. Nobody wanted to talk to me. None of my friends wanted to talk to me. None of my friends wanted to help me. Nobody was, you know. And that isolation, it's tough. And I know it's tough. I'm an introvert, though. I kind of like it. But even with that said, even I got to a point where I was like, damn, I kind of want to talk to somebody now. But again, I just talked to my ancestors. I talked to God. You know what I'm saying? And I literally would sit there and talk to the ancestors and God. You know, when you ain't got nobody, you're never alone. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my healing was, yeah. I mean, Dark Night of the Souls, some tough shit. Look and face yourself. But you're never going to do that unless you choose yourself. Isolate. Shut down. Take a minute. Take more than a minute. It could save your damn life. Because I was under heavy attack. Daily. Like all damn day. Like cults. Like major. As I'm sure a lot of y'all were too. Seems to be the theme of the season. Right? But yeah, ultimately that was the catalyst to my healing. And I healed fairly quick. Like, I literally just went downstairs, made my food, came back up, and I lived in this damn room for like 2 months. Still, meanwhile, not being able to get a goddamn job. Excuse me. I'm sorry about my language. Maintain one, or I'd get one, and then I'd lose it, or I couldn't find one, and then I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Like, my money's funny, I'm penny pinching, I ain't got, look, you dealing with anybody else while you're dealing with that, it wasn't working for me. But I'm telling you, the best thing I ever did was sit down and choose myself. Sit with myself, take that time to myself. I'm healed now. I mean, are we ever really healed? I don't think so. I think there's always something more. You know, there will be more. I mean, hell, you know, changing your mindset is not an easy thing to do. Anybody can tell you that. It's one of the hardest things you can do. Is change what you're taught. Change what you're. We're like computers, you know what I mean? We're indoctrinated from childhood, you know? Basically just what our parents say, you know? Unfortunately for me, I had a lot of narcissists around. So, listen, I love my family. They're good. They're great. A lot of them, you know, they was hit with some of them spells were to keep people away from me. So I was in complete isolation. Even people I was dating for years. It was like 10 years. 2016 to 2026. It was attacks on my relationships. 10 years. And I think back, like, shit, I could have been married. I could have had another child. I mean, thankfully I had my son before that, but I didn't even know. There was attacks literally everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Attacking my womb. Like, it was crazy. Shit was crazy. But anyway, I got off topic there. The whole point of this was to go into how I shut down and healed. Ended up ultimately choosing myself, which helps with my self-confidence, which I'm still working on. Because, let me tell you something, 2015, Marcella was confident as hell. Conceited even. I mean, I will be again. I'm getting there. Yeah, I mean, there was glamour magic. Listen, just fucking everything. Just everything. And like, you rolling up that hill and you just think that you're not gonna get anywhere, just keep going. And every time, yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed the hell off a lot. Because I know annoyed. And for some reason, and maybe it was just, I don't know, for some reason I've always been good with chaos. And maybe it's because I grew up with it in chaos. Maybe it's just, I don't think my household was chaotic, but it was just like, I'm the baby, so nobody really cared. I guess I've been under attack my whole life, huh? No. I mean, not that nobody cared, but like, nobody really There's a lot of other stuff going on. Let's go with that. It was chaotic, so I've always been good with kind of chaos in order to kind of just focus. So I'd be like hyper focused on one thing at a time. Even the only thing you did was get up and literally make your kid breakfast and do one task. Jaden, do you want to say hi? Say hi. But yeah. See? Like that. And he's back. He's like, get out of my chair, Mom. But yeah, I mean, just I would just hyper focus on one thing. Like, look, journaling, I did a lot. I did a lot of journaling, a lot of writing stuff down, because forgiveness is not easy, as we all know, but it's also necessary to move on. For you, I mean, even if you can't forgive the other person, but I forgive. Look, I don't know. I forgive. So, but yeah, I mean, even if you got to do it for yourself, you know, lack mindset. I was brought up with a lack mindset, meaning I was brought up to be like, oh, well, we're just gonna stay broke, and that's where we're at. No, dude, change that shit. Sorry, cussing. Cheating. Okay, buddy. All right. I got my co-host. I'm back, but he's just gonna stay there. So, but yeah, just change the lack mindset. Like, okay, I am going to have money, even if you don't. Daily affirmations. Look, I felt like crap, right? Because the projections and the illusions were telling me I was crap. And then, you know, when you're going through it and you're like, God starts revealing what's going on, you know, and you get those downloads, and you're like, what the hell is happening? Again, I can laugh now. I hope you get to that stage. You will get to that stage. Hopefully. No, you will. But yeah, I've always been, I don't know. I often say to my son, I would say to my son all the time, geez, you're, he's, I don't know. He's very determined. I said, I would just tell him, Jaden, you know, your determination's going to get you far one day, but now it's, you know, it's making me, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. No, but I've always been very determined. So I was just determined. I was like, oh no, we're not doing this. Okay, I can't be laying around like I got a whole family. I'm burdened. Okay, because mind you, my whole life, Jaden, you know, shh. Honey, if you're going to be my co-host, you have to be quiet. He's like, we don't do that here. Anyway, I'm sorry about my son. But my whole life, for whatever reason, I've been responsible for my family. So that everybody always counts on me for everything. I don't know, everybody calls me for everything. So, to be that completely burdened and overwhelmed, like I said, I don't know what put me in the hospital, but I'm sure it didn't help. Again, I'm not laughing at any of these situations. It's just who I am. Jaden, you just gonna stand there? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Alright. And like I said, my son is just like me. He's determined. I always tell him it's determination to get him real far. But it drives me a little nutty sometimes. Like, he's determined to be on this camera. He's a star. He's a star. But, yeah. I figured I would just say that. No, dang, this is long. I don't know if anybody will actually watch this, but even if one person watches it and learns something, shut down the heel. Take the time for yourself. Trust me, like, if you're losing everything, like, them attacks get major when you're about to come up. There's a reason why you're being attacked. Just don't think that it's for nothing, right? Like they're coming hard for you. They're coming hard for you right before if everything being taken away. Jaden, everything's being taken away from you, there's a reason, right? So just get over that hurdle. Even if that's your reason, like, look, I wanna manifest. Look, I wanna. Oh, he's mad at me now. Yeah, but even if your reason is just to, whatever it is, just get to the other side and keep going, because we're losing a lot of people, and a lot of people aren't ascending to their highest. Good, Jaden. All right, mom and calls. Be good. Stay well. Email me if you need anything. Bye.